But I think when dating any spouse who speaks a different language than you, that takes a lot of patience.
But it's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it. I mean, you know, you make each other happy if you laugh together. If your life is better with your partner, regardless of nationality, you make it work.
Don't be scared of me. If you're scared of me, I will eat you.
Damn, Jill.
We're in her place.
Damn.
I'm not kidding. So it's no point in me dating someone that's afraid of me because I can walk all over you. And who wants that? Nobody wants that.
This is the interview of Jill Scott on The Breakfast Club, and she's basically saying she needs a man to handle her. And this is something that we've all heard before, but I want to use that as a control for this particular video.
I'll end up doing that and feel bad about it, and
Then leaving the person and they're crying and
then you're like, I'm dating a and I don't really,
why?
no respect.
Why?
They forget you from Philly sometimes.
I say it like this: if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
Damn,
Does
Jill.
that make sense?
I want to tweet that, but it ain't gonna sound the same. They got the cadence.
We have to be honest with ourselves. There are some guys that like a woman that has a little fire inside of her.
I'd be like, he'd be like, and I'd be like, okay. You like that.
But I will say this as advice for any woman that might be watching this video, however small, that looking overseas, that doesn't translate as well everywhere. And if you're going to be a fiery personality type of person,
That turns you on. When somebody overpower you, it feel like, okay.
you're really vastly limiting your options. I want to take a moment not necessarily to admonish gentlemen that are going overseas, but to warn you that if you're not taking time to learn the language, you're really putting yourself behind the 8 ball.
I would consider myself a functional or conversational Japanese speaker. Because of that, I feel much more connected to the country. But if I didn't speak any Japanese, and I have a lot of foreign friends who have been here for a very long time who don't speak Japanese, their level of disconnection from real Japan is immense. You can survive in Japan by putting yourself in the gaijin bubble and never have to speak Japanese, and your life can be fine. Those people will be completely disconnected from real Japan now.
Notice at the very end, he said that people that don't learn Japanese don't experience the real Japan. I've seen people who find these bubbles and they live in the bubble where it's pretty much a group of English speaking people in that country and English speakers that have migrated to that country, and they live their entire life inside of that bubble. It prevents them from really experiencing the culture. And one step further, man or woman, if you take the extra step to do the homework and learn the culture, especially as a woman who is in shape and nice, you can date pretty much any guy that you want. This is the lady from the beginning of the video. I believe she's a Caucasian lady from America, and I want you to pay attention to 2 things. One, pay attention to her mannerisms. She has mimicked Japanese mannerisms very well. And 2, her tone of voice.
So your husband is Japanese, right?
はい、日本人です。He's Japanese. 私の日本語レベルは I'm pretty conversational now, but 6 years ago, when I was working like in English environments only and not Japanese companies, it was like really hard to build Japanese. And so when dating my husband, he didn't know much English at all. Now he speaks English quite fluently. I really helped support that. If I ask him for help, he supports me.
Any young lady that has the attitude that I need a man that can handle me, what she's essentially doing is removing large swaths of men from her dating pool. For many reasons. One is simply no man wants the chance, the risk of getting the law involved in an altercation because he has to quote unquote prove his masculinity. And that's not even considering the fact that no man really wants to come home after a long day's work and fight with his spouse. But if you are a lady that's in shape, you're fit, feminine, friendly, and you're willing to learn the culture, I can promise you there's a guy overseas that wants to date you.
Early it was hard. But I think when dating any spouse who speaks a different language than you, that takes a lot of patience.
But it's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it. I mean, you know, you make each other happy if you laugh together. If your life is better with your partner, regardless of nationality, you make it work. Just communication, patience with that communication, and both of you have to be open to just cultural understanding.
This is from the TikTok of Awazi and She. Awazi is Nigerian, and She is, of course, Chinese. I want you to look at her left hand, the way that she's holding his right arm. That is a level of femininity that will translate to any place on the planet. If you're a young lady watching this and you're having dismay with passport bros, if you're a feminine woman and you understand these principles, stay in shape, be feminine, be nice, that's going to give you the upper hand anywhere you go on the planet. This is a TikTok of their morning routine, and you can see the young daughter. She's absolutely adorable. But you're going to see the mother cook her breakfast from scratch, which many young ladies would say is akin to modern day slavery. The idea of not being able to take something that's in the freezer, hit a couple of buttons on a microwave, and plop it down in front of your child. Instead, she's actually taking the time to make everything by hand. And an interesting side note, in my class, I learned about kai shui, which is in countries that are not first world countries. China, of course, is very quickly moving into being one. You can't drink water straight out of the faucet. So many people in China actually warm their water, or they make sure that it's heated when they cook it, or when they're drinking water, they will drink from a bottled water source, or they will drink only hot water. It's one of those small luxuries in first world countries that we take for granted. And you can see that she's adapted to that. Well, if she comes from Nigeria, maybe she's even used to it, but she's cutting. You can see that she does this every morning for her daughter. And guess what happens at the end of the day? She has a cooperative, well-to-do Chinese man that doesn't care about her skin color. And she is in a loving relationship with that man. As advice to any young lady who's looking to become a passport sis, I would tell you that the whole independent woman, I need a man that can handle me trope, you probably are best leaving that at home. Most men are very open to a wide variety of women as attractive if she's nice, and if she's in shape, and if she's feminine. That does not even include skin color or body shape. Many black men would love to have a woman that has a large butt or thick thighs or whatever, or big up front, but if he can't get that, but she's nice and she's in shape and she's friendly, feminine, guys will take that. And just like you're seeing here, a Chinese man does not have an issue with a woman because she has a dark skin or she's from a different culture. He just wants someone that he can enjoy his life with. That's the human condition. And I would say to guys that are passport bros, if you put in the time to learn the language, you're going to make your pool of potential women even bigger, because you're going to be able to reach out to the women that don't speak English. The women that may not be as cosmopolitan, may be a bit more traditional. And then when you get into your dust-ups or your mishaps, she's coming to you in her language, and you are hashing that out in her language. And there are fewer misunderstandings because you are the gatekeeper. Keep this in mind, men or women. If you're a woman, you're fit, feminine, friendly. If you're a guy and you're somewhat successful and you learn her language, you're going to have an advantage regardless of where you go, if you're willing to assimilate. If you're trying to carry your culture overseas, you're just going to find a small pocket of people that you can find to jive with, and it's going to limit your options. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.